I have been chomping at the bit to get on camera and talk about the Cardi B versus Tasha K trial, but alas, I did not have a voice, and I still almost don't have a voice. But I have a feeling the C-Night team is going to get me tomorrow, so I wanted to go ahead and make this video. I did get tested earlier this week and was negative, but my husband's positive, and it's not like I'm trying to live in the basement, so it is what it is. His main symptom has been fatigue, and I felt really tired earlier, so I think it's coming. I am vaxxed but not boosted, so we will see how this goes. I mean, my husband's fine, so I think I'll be fine. At any rate, this week the trial finally wrapped up, 3 years in the making, and I've been consuming so much content about, you know, everybody's opinions and the updates. So of course I had to give my update, and I want to talk about why I feel like Tasha's in this situation to begin with. I come with a different perspective, so I have a better perspective. I will say I am biased, because not only because I'm a Cardi fan, I'm a fan of Cardi actually because YouTube was showing me her videos before I even knew who she was, and I was like, why are they showing this person to me? But I also really liked that she was so authentic and like very transparent and real, talking about how messed up her hair is in a bralette and stuff. I didn't know she was on Love and Hip Hop, and then Bodak Yellow came out, so I was a fan of her from the beginning, because being authentic and being comfortable with who I am is something that I've worked in life to achieve. Secondly, I am a Lovely T fan, and I think that this whole trial is at heart like redemption for Lovely T. I think a lot of us feel like that, even if we don't say it. That whole situation back in 2018 when the Star Marie interview happened was really disappointing. I remember seeing Lovely T on her show talking about Tasha and being like, that's my sister, and then for everything to fall apart over something so stupid and inconsequential, like something that was so non-substantive, I don't know the right word. That was really disappointing, and I know it really hurt T. I've been following T since I feel like college, so 2009, and I think that she has integrity. I know she tries to be fair, which I definitely try to be fair. I think she's an October Leo, and I'm an October Libra, so we might be a little similar in that. I generally think that she is a nice person, a good person. I did think she went in kind of hard on the Gorilla Glue situation, so I had to turn her off for that. But other than that, I usually appreciate her perspective. Tasha, at that time, I was like really disappointed by that, but then also she was just so mean-spirited that I couldn't watch her anymore. I actually blocked her channel because I didn't want her to be suggested to me. And here we are. She's just lost the lawsuit against Cardi B. So Cardi B and Tasha K, the initial women. And I feel like at its core, it's about Lovely T. And I feel like at the core of that, I think why a lot of us are really happy is because it feels like finally the mean girl is being called to the carpet. I think that part of a lot of us that was bullied or just simply mistreated by somebody and they weren't held accountable for it, I think that part of us is rejoicing. Although I am a Cardi fan, I really don't care about her winning. She obviously doesn't need the money, and I don't know, I kind of felt like, okay, first of all, I want to say the herpes thing. So they're trying to say that, well, if she has a cold sore, which is herpes simplex 1, then she has herpes, and then therefore Tasha's not lying. And I just feel like that's not the same at all. I have herpes simplex 1. I'm getting over a fever blister now. My 3-year-old has herpes simplex 1. He gets fever blisters. That would not, I just said that on here. If I had herpes sexually transmitted disease, I would not say that on here. Those are 2 different things. And I think if somebody is using it in a derogatory way or a defamatory way, they are talking about this sexually transmitted disease. So the whole situation where they had to go through and prove she didn't have a cold sore just seemed stupid. Cardi also says she's suicidal. I just kind of feel like, is that true? Like, how do we know that that's true? Of course, that's something, I just took that with a grain of salt. And I was also curious about why, if these things weren't true, why did it make Cardi feel like she didn't deserve her kid? I was curious about that. Now, I'm not really saying anything. These are just some questions that I had. I felt like Tasha deserved to lose because she was being mean. So it is what it is. But those are just some questions that I had. And I also wasn't sure why Star Marie was not, why she wasn't sued as well. I also wanted to say, people are saying, well, what's the difference in Tasha K and like People magazine or something? I think the difference is, well, for me, I take it I don't pay attention as much to those bigger publications, and they move on quickly, and they probably don't need to go 10 toes down on anyone's story because their platform is not being made off that story. So I don't think they would give it the same energy or attention as a Tasha K did. Okay, so like I said, I think that this is about the mean girl finally having to pay. I definitely think Tasha was being a mean girl, and I think that people are going in on her because of that, because she was being mean, and we're triggered back to these experiences where people were mean to us. Now, I said I think that this is about Tasha, about Lovely T, and I just wonder if the core of this issue is that she is trying to avoid the feeling that she was about to experience. Okay, let me just read the question as I wrote it. What if the core of this is preventing herself, Tasha, from feeling the feeling brought on by Lovely T picking a higher moral ground? I should just read the question as I wrote it. I think, okay, so I watched this interview. It wasn't even an interview. I watched a Zoom call facilitated by Lioness of Judah. It had Tasha K, Lovely T, and Malibu Dollface. And I just think about how it feels for somebody that you respect to say, you know what, I'm not going to go that route because it's below my moral standard. But I love it for you. Go ahead. How do you think that made her feel? Or maybe that like brought up some feelings that she didn't want to feel. And she's so resistant to those feelings that she went 20 toes down, saying, like, standing her ground on what she believed or what her statement was, because she really didn't want to have that moment of humility, moment of being humbled, where she said, you know what, you're right, I'm wrong. I think it might have made her feel inferior. And I have heard a few times that she says that she repeated the 9th grade 3 times. And I imagine that makes her feel inferior in some ways. The context I heard she brought that up in was like talking about her intelligence. So maybe she is insecure about her intelligence or how she appears to others because of, I don't know why she had to repeat the 9th grade, but I can only imagine that's traumatizing to be in ninth grade 3 times and embarrassing, and whatever was going on, that was probably traumatizing. So I can imagine that when this whole situation came up and she was like put against this person that we all know and love, and this person's like, okay, I'm gonna go high, you can go low, that's cool. She probably was like, no, I don't want to be lower. I don't want to feel inferior in front of all these people. I don't want to be wrong, and I'm not going to be. And I want to avoid that feeling so much that I am going to do it at the detriment of this person. And I'm going to make her suffer and take me to court. And I will even do a whole trial because I don't want to feel that. And as far as I can tell, she's still not feeling it. I heard that her live this evening was her saying that she's a victim, and this is a product of, I think I heard, sympathy and payola, and that the Illuminati's against her. Something like that. I didn't watch it. That's just something I kind of heard. But that's not important to me. What's important is she is, even though she clearly lost, she clearly was wrong, she admitted she was wrong, everybody's been dragging her this whole trial, she still is not accepting that. And that reminds me a lot of Donald Trump, because he lost the election. He just could not fathom that people didn't want him to be president, despite all of the drama, despite people hating him. Like, it just, you should be able to fathom that people don't want you, the amount of trouble you've had. Like, why is this outcome a surprise? So I did want to bring that up because I thought that was an interesting parallel. And you know, Donald Trump is, people call him, suspect that he is a malignant narcissist. I don't know if this inability to be wrong or to fail is part of malignant narcissism, and if that would apply to Tasha, but you know, whatever. But what I really wanted to talk about is Tasha and her pain body. I mentioned pain body a little bit in my last video, but I didn't really get into it. This is a concept I learned from Eckhart Tolle, the book The Power of Now. So I'm gonna read a little bit about it. So the pain body is the accumulated pain. Okay, it says this accumulated pain is a negative energy field that occupies your body and mind. So this is pain that you've experienced in your life. It's there, it creates a negative energy field. And this is from the book The Power of Now. Page 36 is where it starts. And on page 37 it says, so the pain body, when it has taken you over, will create a situation in your life that reflects back its own energy frequency for it to feed on. So the pain body is, in effect, an entity. You can think of it as like a negative energy entity, and it becomes you. If you feed it, it will masquerade as you, and you can't tell the difference between you and the pain body. It says once the pain body has taken you over, you want more pain. You become a victim or a perpetrator. So you either want to experience pain or you cause pain, because it's really the same, the book says. Now, this applies to Tasha for me, because if you notice, she's constantly creating pain in the world. She's constantly bringing, like, her, I haven't been subscribed to her channel in a long time, but from what I recall and when I do check in, it's usually like something, it's about drama, it's about exposing people, and she's constantly falling out with people. Like, she was cool with T, she was cool with Lioness, she was cool with Nika Knight, she was cool with Armand, like all these different people, and she falls out with them because she can't help herself. Her pain body has taken over, and it only knows to cause pain or to feel pain, as she is playing the victim right now. So what clued me into this was when I listened to the conversation hosted by Lioness of Judah. There was like no way to diffuse the conflict, and Lovely T wanted her friend. There was the video or the call they played in court. I listened to part of it, and Lovely T's crying because she doesn't want to lose a friend. She doesn't have many friends. And so she wanted this to go away. It stressed her out so bad, she ended up in the hospital. I believe she has lupus, and stress can cause a flare up. Meanwhile, so Tasha's got these claims, and Lovely T would respond and refute the claim, and it would make no difference to Tasha because she's there for the pain of it. She's there for the negative emotion because the pain body must have it to exist. So one thing she said was that Tasha or Lovely T did a whole live about her, and Lovely T was like, no, I was talking about daytime, tea time. Of course, in the call, she didn't want to name the person, and it was only a certain segment. And then Tasha's like, well, you did a whole live about daytime, tea time. And T's like, no, I don't even know her like that. It was just a segment. Excuse me. And then it came up again, Tasha saying, well, you did a whole live about me. It's like, didn't we just go over that? And then Tasha K said that they planned the Star Marie situation together, and they didn't. I think it's a matter of semantics here, but Lovely T's like, no, we didn't. She was like, well, you said you were gonna release your video after mine. And T's like, yeah, I'm gonna see what you said before I post my video. You had the interview, I didn't. And then she said, well, I gave you 3 names for my video and you picked one. She's like, yeah, I'm helping you out. But she just had to create this narrative, and even when there was an answer to the thing that she's complaining about, she just kept it going. And that's what triggered me to realize this is her and her pain body, and she wanted Cardi to feel pain because that is how the pain body stays alive, and she's just going to continue to do that. The remedy to the pain body is to acknowledge the pain body. So you become aware when you are starting to feel angry. There's some examples in here. Those self-destructive feelings. You have to become aware that it's not you. That's just like your pain body crying out, and being aware that, you know what, my desire to start this argument, my desire to whine and to be hateful, that's not me. That's the pain body struggling to survive. And the way that you kill the pain body, I don't know if you can really kill it, but the way you keep it in check and keep it from taking over you is by not feeding into it. So some people are always going to have drama because their pain body wants to exist, so it's going to continue to create pain to live off of. And I will say that I feel like one of the reasons Tasha K is so successful is because of the pain body, and because so many people are getting their pain bodies are being fed from watching her content, and therefore she's going to stay around because we are all in need of healing and in need of awakening. So that's why she's popular, and that's why things that aren't as based on pain, like my channel, aren't as popular. And the other thing is, nobody cared what I was saying when I was just talking about growing, but when I'm talking about some drama going on in the zeitgeist, people care, partly because it feeds our pain body, even if it's just a little bit. Those are my thoughts. I do wish the best for everybody. I hope that Tasha can find a way to use this and heal. There's another section in here that I thought was appropriate for her situation. It says in the book, The Power of Now, it says, accept, then act. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. Always work with it, not against it. Make it your friend and ally, not your enemy. This will miraculously transform your life, because you can't change things. I mean, she can do appeals and try to pay less, but all these things have happened. So you can let it change you and grow you, or you can keep fighting against it and saying it didn't happen, or not accepting how it did happen and stay the same. Up to you. But I hope we can all learn from this. And it's not really about sides. I said I'm biased. I am, because I want her to lose for 14-year-old me reasons. But I do wish her the best. I wish Tasha K the best. I wish Cardi B the best. I hope that we all continue to learn and grow. Okay, if you wish me well, please give me a like. If you like my content, give me a like. If you like me, please subscribe. I also wanted to say, if you are a Tasha K fan, please tell me why in the comments. If I still have you by now at this point in the video, I really appreciate it. You guys take care. Until next time.